Taurus, happy May 2017. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. This is Dark Dove Tarot. As you know, I usually pre-shuffle, but I like to add a little more energy as we get started. My reads are based on love and relationships. If I notice anything else, I will definitely bring that to the forefront as well. Please check your sun, moon, and rising, as my reads are general. Hopefully they resonate with you, but sometimes you can pick up more information by checking your other signs. Again, I hope everybody's doing fantastic. Feel free to comment, subscribe, like, order a private reading, donate, etc. I move pretty fast, as I always say in the beginning. I have a lot to get out, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. Again, this is for Taurus, May 2017. Let's get started. Okay, so the first card you have is always your current position or current state of mind coming into the month. And you have the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords, this is a lot of rest, recuperation, some exhaustion. So happy birthday, by the way. I didn't say that, but definitely important to bring that up. However, this card is telling me some of you have been dealing with some things, and maybe you're just feeling physically, mentally exhausted. So for singles, this is telling me that some of you should hesitate and not make any big decisions on, you know, coupling with somebody. It almost seems like you're not really sure of who to couple with, and you haven't had a ton of luck. Maybe you've been dating a few people, none of it's kind of working out to how you would expect or want it to go. Again, I'm getting the sense, like, don't rush into anything. Like, yeah, you want to meet somebody, and, you know, yes, you're a capable partner, and, you know, you're a good person, but don't rush into anything. Don't push something. You've got to take rest. This card is warning that this is needing to take a breather. Get out in the open. Take some alone time. You know, this is you. You've been on the go, and this month is kind of all about recuperating and not making the move until you know it's for you. So, interesting couples, singles. I haven't had a lot of signs start out with the instance of maybe even not dating or shouldn't be dating. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be dating, but I feel like this is kind of a warning to be healthy in your dating. And if it doesn't feel right now, or if it's just not clicking, don't push it. Just take some time off, relax, enjoy your time this month, enjoy your birthday, you know, whatever. But make sure you take care of you above all. For couples, same type of thing. Take care of your relationship. This is couples have been on the go a lot, taking care of your family, taking care of work, taking care of all these other things, but not taking care of the romance. And this is definitely like exhaustion. You guys are spent as a couple. You're, you know, falling asleep half an hour after the kids are, or, you know, you feel like, you know, even if you don't have kids or whatever your situation is, you and your partner are kind of like, good morning, dear, good morning, kiss, kiss, bye, off to work, and then back again, and you're both exhausted. I'm getting the sense there might be some other strains, but it's not really showing in this card, so I guess we'll see. You know, same thing, and this is kind of saying, like, don't evoke another battle, or don't go for another battle. So I don't know if there's been some fighting or what it is, but this is kind of like, all right, I give up, let's just agree to disagree, let's just agree to take a breather, and we'll look at it in a little while. So definitely interesting, Taurus. Some of you have been pretty stressed out and exhausted. It could be from anything. I see a lot of maybe, you know, college students catching up on, you're about to take maybe, you know, midterms or exams or finals or whatnot. And just a lot of this just tells me that whether you're single or coupled, you need some rest and you need to recuperate. The next card you have is always challenges or things that go along with your coming into the month. And you have the Five of Coins. So sometimes it's a challenge. Sometimes it resonates with your current state of mind or current position. And this one kind of resonates a little bit. This is, unfortunately, loss. This is, again, this is more internal and this is external. So the interesting thing about the 5 is that almost strikes me as more external, but either way, it's the internal position. So this is, for singles, this is maybe destitution, feeling like you're not going to find the one, you're never going to get out of debt. You're going to feel like, you're, never going to get married, or you're never going to, and marriage doesn't have to be your goal, but it could be just finding a life partner or whatever the case may be. It just seems like down, and something has presented itself to where it's exhausted you, and you're kind of feel like just crawling under the covers and saying, and some of you, it may even be not about love or relationships. It could be that you lost a job, or again, the school is hitting home. Maybe some of you are finishing school, or maybe you finished school and you're just incurring your student loan debt. But definitely, unfortunately, because I was hoping this month would be a super happy month for you, some of you are feeling kind of down in the dumps. And for singles, this is definitely feeling a little bit like, why am I even trying? Why bother? But the good thing is this is the 5 of coins, so there's nowhere to go but up, because the challenging cards before that are like the 4 and the 3, so it's going to get better. It doesn't have to stay like this. For couples, what's interesting is this is loss, and so I don't know if there were a miscarriage or something along those lines, but for some of you, I feel like that's right in tune. There's a miscarriage, or maybe you were adopting and it didn't go as planned, or something fell through. I do see some couples that have taken a break or split, and you're kind of exhausted because of that. Maybe you were trying for so long to have a baby, or maybe, one of you lost a job. There's definitely some tension. Not for all couples. Again, this is general. The biggest thing is getting back up and trying again. You need to survive as a couple, so you need to thrive as a couple. So you need to make decisions together. It can't be that one person is so exhausted and the other person has the energy, that you're both not putting in equally into the relationship, because that just creates another reason to nag at each other about one person doing more, etc. This also tells me that some of you have been worrying about finances a little bit, like you're, maybe you do have a baby on the way, or maybe, you had been planning for one, or maybe there's other things you're planning on, a project or buying a house, and you're just kind of like, well, we can't financially do it right now. And one of you, whether it's you or your partner, is feeling like kind of a failure because you're not able to support your dreams. But you will. Again, as I said to singles, it's not the end of the world. I know your fear is not getting out of debt or never getting to that point of being stable, but you will. This is just the middle of that suit, and again, you'll move forward and up from there. The next card you have is always your distant past, and this is over the past, few years. This isn't generally the past few months. And you have the 5 of Wands. So this I always read together, singles and couples, because some of you couples were single at the time and some of you singles were coupled at the time. So this 5 tells me that a lot of you, this is chaos. This is, bad priorities, competition. So the 5 of Wands represents turmoil and no stability. This is, and for some of you, it's moving a lot, paycheck to paycheck. Some of it's self-inflicted and some of it's not. So I see a lot of fighting, a lot of arguing, a lot of crying. And in reality, this could be your parents. So this could be distant past, and learned behaviors from your parents, which have kind of cycled into relationships that you've been in previously or relationships you're in now, and having that same behavior. Priorities weren't focused. There were some, drug users, alcoholics. It was like, how can we find the next fix? And I kind of see some of you like, maybe you even lived in a car, or, and I'm not necessarily saying you were the alcoholic or the drug addict, but maybe you experienced that as a child. And so maybe you've been seeking out the wrong type of people, or maybe you're in a relationship with the wrong type of person. And that's where this exhaustion is coming in. And maybe because it is your month, you're starting to see like, hey, I've got to take care of me, numero uno. And, you know, whatever it is, it may be unhealthy for you. This could be that maybe this is even somebody following a dream. Like maybe your parents had plans for you to be a lawyer or a doctor or whatever the case is, and you followed your dreams of going to art school or living abroad, and nobody believed in you. And maybe it didn't happen for you then. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen for you now. Maybe it's even in the works, but you felt like a failure and you felt like nobody believed in you. Some of you even lost money in investments that cost your relationship or was a hardship on you and your family, you know, losing jobs. I get a lot too of like your partner accusing you of being like not being honest and questioning your every move, but it turns out they were really controlling. You were never good enough for them. You were never good enough for your parents. Your parents didn't have faith in you. I almost see this as like a cycle. So some of you had a really negative experience with a partner who accused you of being an adulterer or not being honest, and they checked all your stuff, and you always felt like you were on like defense mode. And then you realize, hey, it was them. They cheated on you, or they weren't being honest, and the tables were turned. And some of you allow that behavior because that's how you were raised with parents who treated you like that. So of course it was easier being in that uncomfortable spot because it was almost comfortable. After a while, sometimes that negative can become a comfortable staying point for you. So again, some of it's self-inflicted. I do see that some of you, you know, just didn't have your priorities set. And come on, I mean, if you're 21 and living in Vegas, just a personal example, you know, there's different priorities, there are different things, and you might want to experience life or living abroad. But this is something that was pretty damaging to the point where it, you know, stayed with you for a long time, or it took you a long time to recuperate from it. But again, same as I'm saying about the Five of Coins, the Five of Wands, same thing. There's nowhere to go but up. And again, this is your distant past. However, I feel like, some of you are bringing that into present situations, because I always reflect on the past. We want to take the good, you know, and leave the bad. Easier said than done, I know. But some of you may be bringing a little bit of it into your relationship right now, or what you're looking for if you're single. The next card you have is your recent past. So in the past few weeks, and you have the Four of Coins. So Taurus, not like, you know, your best read so far, but definitely not the worst. This is, you know, the miser. This is conserving money almost obsessively. So for singles, you're holding back a little bit in the dating world. Someone hurt you or recently showed you a pretty bad side of themselves, and your trust kind of singed a little bit. You're like, whoa, you're completely different than I thought you were. You built yourself up. You know, I feel like you kind of met deadbeats, and you're being a little frugal on dates, and not necessarily financially. You just don't want to focus on dating. You know, you kind of are like, what's the point? And you're being a little frugal with like your emotions and giving people the time. You're kind of like, if they're not exactly what I want, or they don't show me something different than some of the, you know, people I've met, then, you know, X, move on to the next, X, basically. You know, it's kind of like you're not, as singles, you're not willing to lose yourself. So again, you're not meeting the right people. You're feeling, you know, a little lost. Kind of, is this, you know, is this where you're supposed to be? Should I be dating right now? You want to meet somebody, and you know deep down inside you're a good person and you could meet somebody good. You're just not sure what to do with it at this point because things haven't been the best. For couples, this is, I almost feel like somebody lost a job, and it has you on edge, and it's affecting your relationship. So either lost a job, something happened, I don't know, maybe something hit financially, and one of you had to get a second job, and, you know, or even a second mortgage, and now the stress is kind of leading no romance. It's all work, no play, and you're going to have to work on that. Feels like the past few weeks, you know, for couples, maybe even some jealousy. So maybe either one partner's more successful, or you were blindsided. One of you lost a job, or something happened, and now you're almost feeling angst towards your partner. It's agitation because, you know, why did this happen to me? And now I look like the one who's not holding up my end. Or maybe you had to get a second job because, you know, you guys want to get the house or you want to do certain things, but now you get the second job, or your partner gets the second job, and one of you is feeling almost jealous on that because, you know, they're never around, and you kind of are feeling emotionally stressed, and they are too, and neither one of you have enough time for each other, or there's too much time at work, and that's making one of you, if not both of you, feel insecure about where you are in the relationship. So, again, it's interesting because, you know, it's a very kind of tough beginning to the month, but I just don't have the feeling that it's going to be bad. For couples too, I want to mention something. This card is about frugality, like I said, but this is also penny pinching. And so you guys aren't doing anything for your anniversaries. You're not doing anything to go on dates. You're not doing anything for those types of situations, but you need to figure out another way, whether it's you or your partner. It's not about the money. It's about, okay, we don't have the money right now, but let's be sensible about it. And let's think of something I can do. You know, have the kids make, you know, your partner dinner, or, you know, take them out, but you guys can't afford to do anything major. So go to the park and get a cheap bottle of freaking $2 Chuck wine or something and put it in glasses and go sit. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. It just has to be something acknowledging that you guys are going through this together and you're both trying to climb these obstacles. And it's better if you do it together than separate. So the next card you have is going to be your distant future, and this is in time over the next, you know, few months, not right this second or not in May. And you have the Death card. And that's interesting because we had another sign, I believe it was Cancer, that had the Death card. And this is your future, distant future, and I actually love this card. So this Death card isn't a sign of somebody's dying. This is death of negative. This is rebirth, transformation, which is definitely always a good thing. So for singles, this is a change of attitude, positive outlook, whatever you've been going through that's been exhausting you or making you feel less than, or even if it's just work and it has nothing to do with love, it's depleting your energy and even wanting to date. This is singles revitalizing, wanting to share themselves, meet a special person. You know, singles finding new love, new excitement, a new way to be accessible but still have alone time, because I feel like that's where this card comes from a little bit. Like maybe you were making so much time for dating, or you were kind of like running yourself ragged that you didn't take time for yourself, and this is, you're going to find a better, you know, work-life balance. For couples, this is seeing a change and things are going to get stable. So you're going to see how you power through things together. This may even be a breakup. Some of you may be on the verge of, hey, it's time. We need a breakup. We're not happy. We're not good for each other. But for the majority of you, I think it's going to be eye-opening, because you're going to realize that you're getting through things together and it's making you stronger as a couple. You're going to see kind of the clouds lifting, turning the romance on. Again, this is all about togetherness and working together. And some of you may be having a baby, adding to the brood, you know, moving in together. And I feel like for singles and for couples, actually, some of you are going to be volunteering. So it's almost going to be like, you know, let's stop, woe is me. Let's remember what we have. Yes, things have been tough as shit and we're tired of it and we deserve better. But sometimes you have to see the lesser to get the higher. So sometimes you have to go, you know what? Yeah, it sucks. I may not make what I want. I may be in debt with student loans. I may whatever. But you have to remember, somewhere out there, there's somebody worse and worse off. And sometimes making a difference in their life allows you to acknowledge the fact that you can make a difference in your life. But I just, for some reason, got the strong feeling some of you are going to take like a step to volunteer or doing something nice for somebody else, because sometimes we all get tired, and I know very well personally, of our own complaints. And it's nice to just say, you know what, today I'm not going to complain. Today I'm going to do something to help somebody else. The next card you have is going to be your immediate future. So over the next few weeks, and you have the Eight of Cups. Okay, so again, I love the Death card because I think that shows that your future definitely has transformation, rebirth, a lot of things coming to fruition for you. The Eight of Cups is not bad, but it's a little bit of like stagnation and getting things moving. So the next few weeks for singles is going to be like, I feel like giving up on dating. You're exhausted. This is exhausting. Nothing's changing. I'm seeing the same faces, different day, same people. You know, you're not going to feel satisfied in love, life, soul. This is kind of like something needs to change. You know that you can change it within yourself, but you need to start making the effort to change it. You know, eventually, towards the end of this month, for singles, you're going to feel the need to start moving. Wipe the slate clean, new profile, new dating site, new group. You're going to change things up. You're going to try little things, step by step by step by step. Nothing's going to be like this big whim. And this card cautions you, don't go out and revamp anything and do anything drastic. Just think outside of the box. How else can I meet people? If this isn't working, how else am I going to meet people? Am I really ready to meet people? If I am ready, you know, what do I bring to the table and what enhances that? Is it online? Is it meetup groups? Am I better in person? Am I better online? Etc. You're going to have to kind of fill in the blank and make that happen. It's not a negative. It just means it's moving slower than you want, but take it with ease. Don't push it. Don't force it. For couples, this is agitation, arguing, same things every day. The spark is kind of fizzled. So the next few weeks is going to be about, you know, you literally, some of you are going to move, literally move, uproot and move to a new house. You know, this is kind of like a fresh start. You're going to, you know, do whatever you need to do to kind of find that spark again. Some of you couples are unsatisfied, but you're unsatisfied in a relationship as far as romance. You're not unsatisfied because you don't love your partner or because you're wanting to break up necessarily. And some of you will. It's point blank, that's what's needed. Maybe that's what's going to happen. But for the majority of you, this is, you know, your couple's not, you know your partner's unhappy. You're unhappy. What do we do to fix it? You still love them. There's still that light in your eye whenever you see them. There's still that faith that you have in each other, and you have things, a family or, you know, a pet or even an apartment or something that's yours together. So you're going to try and make the best of it. You just got to figure out how. And the next few weeks, that's what it's going to be about. But you've got to put in the energy and time. And I know that a lot of you are probably like, well, so does my partner. Yes, they do. But this read is about you. And I get the strong feeling that you both have kind of given up, and you're going to be the one to help move it in the direction you want. The next card you have is going to be future external factors. So things that affect the relationship outwardly, and you have the Four of Wands. So very interesting here because you have the four, you know, the 4, the 5, and the 5. So just these are all middle of the decks. So these are either, they're not bad because you, in some suits you have bad in the beginning, the 1s, 2s, 3s, and some you have them at the end. So you're kind of like in the middle of everything. It's not swaying from one side to the other. You're kind of there, stagnant, which is kind of what the 8 is saying. Like, let's get things moving, but not too harshly, but put some energy and effort into it. The next card you have, like I said, external factors. So this is stability, resting. Again, something is heeding your warning to rest. So go ahead and take that time for yourself because it's needed. So singles are going to start to see things calm down. Dating's not going to be so chaotic. You're going to be able to balance breaks between, you know, dating and taking time for yourself. You're not going to be needing to check dating sites every day, all day. You're going to date at your own pace. Maybe check it every couple of days. Or, like I said, try different avenues, you know, dating sites. You're going to feel happy because you're going to be an open book. So you're going to throw it all out there. You're going to just kind of like make happiness a priority, and knowing that if you are open about what you're looking for, who you want to date, that kind of stuff, then you're going to find it, and you're not hiding behind anything. Not that you are, just a lot of people kind of grandiose on websites, or, you know, this is what I'm looking for and I want everything to be perfect in this way. And you're kind of going to be like, this month, this is me, take it or leave it. I'm pretty cool. If you want to get to know me better, then let's do this. If not, whatever, move on. You know, this tells me that over the next few weeks for singles, you're going to have some really good first dates. Start feeling satisfied. You're going to be able to read the red flags. Some of you are going to have like this one amazing date. I don't know what it is, but I get the sense it's just going to be over the moon date. Not for everybody, but for some of you, it will be. For couples, this is, you're starting to feel in a better place as well. You're bringing the romance back a little more. You're going to start feeling more rested towards the end of the month, more energy, taking breaks together. Something simple like hot chocolate, a walk around the, you know, neighborhood, doing dishes together. It's going to start with the simple things. You don't need to jump into, let's buy each other, you know, dozens of roses and whatever. It's going to be things that make sense for where you are. If you can afford to do that and you want to do that and it's something you think your partner would like, by all means do it. But from what the cards are saying, that's not what it's about or what it needs to be about. And, you know, cliche as it is, sometimes the smallest things, or that don't cost that much, are the ones that are the most special. You know, for couples too, it's doing one thing a day to make your partner and your family feel better. So maybe it's been a long time before you know, had a good morning smooch fest, or, you know, at night smooch fest, or, you know, taking a bath, or, you know, sang a song together. Whatever it is, it's been a long time and you need it. And some of you couples too are going to have like a new job, but it's going to be together, like a side business, or completing a home project that was put off, that was adding to the agitation. So, you know, if your home is out of balance, a lot of times your life is out of balance. So maybe you had a project to, you know, remodel a room or do whatever, and you got started or you thought about it and it just kind of went to the wayside. Sometimes that can negatively affect the energy of the home because you're disappointed you didn't get to do it, and that's staring you in the face every time. So if it's a project you can complete or something that's important to you, then do it. Make sure it gets done, because that will definitely help. The next card you have is going to be your internal factors, and you have the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is a very strong card. This is, you know, calm, counselor, etc. Definitely an internal card, so it falls really well into place. This is a listener. This is somebody, you know, who takes time. So for singles, this is taking time to relax and focus on a happy place and bringing that to dating instead of like assuming the worst, or you're going to meet the worst person. Some of you singles may even be seeking counsel. In fact, it might be couples too, seeking counseling or therapy, or some of you are just seeking advice on dating or being in a relationship from people who are coupled, or maybe even parents, people who've been successful at it. For singles, this is listening and asking the right questions and reading the signs when you're dating or meeting people. This is, you know, being true to yourself and not giving the wrong impression and putting out the wrong vibes. If you're not ready for a major relationship right now, but you want to meet somebody cool to hang out with, make that known. Don't say that you want to be in a relationship if you don't, because you're just going to end up hurting yourself and somebody else. If all you're looking for is sex, or a physical relationship, then that's your business and more power to you. But don't pretend that you're looking for something else. And I don't feel like you're going to. I think that you're going to find exactly what you want because you're going to be honest and open without hiding yourself. And I think for couples, this is truly making it happen as well. Don't say what you think your partner wants to hear if you're not going to follow through on it. So don't say, well, I'll be better about this if you know you're not. It's not going to make them love you any more or any less. They want to hear what you're capable of, what you bring to the table to make things work better, and you want to hear the same from them. So give them the same respect you want from them as far as being truthful about what you want. And if you need something, tell your partner, this is what I need and this is what's going to make me happy. This is a relationship and you want to be in it, but it has to be good for both of you. You know, this is taking walks again, even maybe no electronics with the family, or put a routine in place that keeps the chaos from sneaking back in. Even if it's just a morning routine to get everything moving so that there's no yelling and screaming and everybody knows where they're supposed to be. There's nothing wrong with having a little, planning to make it happy, and make it easier on everybody. This is, couples are listening to each other and their needs instead of quickly answering or trying to solve everything. Just listen and then see what you guys can do to solve it together. The last two cards you have are your hopes and fears and the outcome from the month. So for the month. So your hopes and fears are the Three of Cups, and that's definitely not a fear card. So there is some good here going on, Taurus. And the next card you have for your outcome is the Six of Wands, which is also excellent. So the Three of Cups is about celebration, parties, having fun. So for singles, you're developing new friendships. You're looking for friends first and not just lovers. This is celebrating the little things, making moments worth celebrating, maybe a first kiss, a second date. Again, this is all internal, so you don't necessarily have to say, oh, this is our second date, let's go out and do something extravagant. But in your mind, you're going, whew, all right, I made it to a second date. Haven't had a lot of seconds in a while. You're planning to mingle more, get out more. So for singles, this is definitely, you're feeling good. The vibe is starting to come through. Dating is getting a little bit easier. For couples, this is about becoming friends again. Less bickering, less fighting, more working together and problem solving. Some of you are celebrating pregnancy or promotions. Maybe some of you are pregnant. Your significant other doesn't know about it and you're waiting until, the 90 days or whatever. Everybody has a different term as far as when you should actually start telling people. So maybe some of you have a hidden secret that you're internally celebrating and haven't let your significant other know yet. I see, couples relishing in new digs, finishing that project, and you're going to outdoor events or concerts or picnics and you're just feeling like amazing. So this card is definitely, you're celebrating something, whether you're single or coupled. The end of this month is achieving something great and successful. And the last card you have, like I said, is the Six of Wands, and that is your outcome for the month. And this is, singles, you're going to meet somebody pretty cool. That's all I can say. I don't know why, but cool just comes into mind. Maybe not somebody you're like, oh, I'm madly in love with them or love at first sight, but hey, that person's pretty cool. You're going to, if that doesn't happen for you at the direct end, it's going to be more, you found comfortable ways to date, the pressure's not so high. You put yourself out there and you got a good return. So just kind of go with the flow. Again, maybe you met somebody new. It feels like, you're seeing how things go with this person. Maybe even a few, but you're going to kind of feel like, yeah, I mastered this online dating crap. And that feels fantastic. And you're taking pride in your choices and in yourself. You're letting go of that like failure mentality or giving up. And now you're just kind of slow and steady. There's always going to be negative to a certain extent, but you're believing in the positive and you're going to start seeing it quite a bit. So again, this isn't, meeting the person of your dreams at the end of the month. It could be, but you're like feeling accomplished just in the fact you're starting to figure out the dating game. For couples, this is, finances have leveled out, new promotions. Maybe you got the house you were looking for. You finished the projects. You brought the romance back. You're taking pride in each other and what you've accomplished. And that's really important this month because I feel like a lot of you need to see each other in a different light, and you need to look at your partner and be like, you know what, we did this and I'm proud of you and you're proud of me, and it's like success, and here we are, and now we can get through anything. So I think amazing things are coming for you. Just, get through it. It's not going to be like some crazy ride. It's going to be life and just dealing with it and maybe changing the way you look at it or the way you think about it. But some amazing things are coming. I know that death card, some people don't like it, but I'm telling you what, it's bringing some major changes and some promise that's going to be positive to everybody. Have a great month. Happy birthday. I'll see you next month.